Welcome to Lasting Memories, where Nancy shares heartfelt tributes to remarkable lives that continue to be remembered with love and admiration. This channel honors unforgettable figures from film, music, culture, and beyond, celebrating the moments, achievements, and influence they left behind. Join us as we preserve their stories and keep their legacy shining brightly through every memory. Phil Garner was born on April 30th, 1949 in Jefferson City, Tennessee, and grew up in a working-class environment that shaped his determined and hard-working nature. From a young age, he developed a reputation for grit and persistence, qualities that later defined his entire baseball career. At the University of Tennessee, he refined his skills as an infielder and showed early signs of becoming a dependable professional player. His approach to the game was simple and consistent: put in maximum effort and outwork everyone around him. Playing career and Major League success, Garner made his Major League Baseball debut in 1973 and went on to play for multiple teams over a long and steady career. He became especially well known during his time with the Pittsburgh Pirates, where he played a key role in the team's 1979 championship season. His timely hitting, defensive reliability, and calm presence under pressure made him an important contributor during critical moments. Over his career, he appeared in more than 1,800 games and earned recognition as an all-star player multiple times. Managerial career and leadership. After retiring as a player, Garner moved into managing and continued to make an impact on the game. He led several teams, most notably the Houston Astros, guiding them to their first World Series appearance in 2005. While the championship title eluded them, his leadership was widely respected for bringing structure, belief, and competitiveness to the team. Final years and legacy. In his later years, Garner faced a long battle with pancreatic cancer. Despite health challenges, he remained closely connected to baseball. He is remembered as a figure defined by toughness, consistency, and leadership. His nickname Scrap Iron reflected not just his playing style, but a lifelong attitude of resilience and determination that left a lasting mark on the sport. Monty Coleman was born on November 4th, 1957 in Pine Bluff, Arkansas. He grew up in an environment where discipline and hard work mattered, shaping the values that would define his future. At Pine Bluff High School, he stood out for his consistency and determination rather than flashy play, earning a reputation as a reliable and focused young athlete. College journey and NFL entry. He continued his football career at the University of Central Arkansas, where he developed into a smart, hard-working defender despite limited national attention. His effort and awareness on the field eventually led to him being selected in the 1979 NFL Draft by the Washington Redskins. This marked the start of a long and steady professional journey built on perseverance rather than early expectations. Professional career and impact. Coleman spent his entire 16-season NFL career with Washington, becoming known for his toughness, intelligence, and reliability. He contributed to a successful era for the team and was valued for doing his role with consistency and discipline. His career reflected long-term commitment rather than individual spotlight, earning deep respect within the organization. Coaching and legacy. After retiring as a player, Coleman returned to the sport as a coach at the University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff, where he mentored young athletes both on and off the field. He passed away at the age of 68, leaving behind a legacy of leadership, humility, and dedication that continues through those he influenced. Ivan Boesky was born on March 6, 1937, in Detroit, into a Jewish family that owned small food and hospitality businesses. Growing up in a hardworking, business-focused household shaped his early interest in finance and commerce. He attended Cranbrook School and Mumford High School, and later studied at multiple universities, including Wayne State University, Eastern Michigan University, and the University of Michigan, before ultimately earning a law degree in 1965 from Detroit College of Law. Career in finance. Boesky became a prominent figure on Wall Street through merger arbitrage, a strategy involving betting on corporate takeovers. During the 1980s, he gained a reputation for extraordinary financial success and became associated with the era's aggressive, high-risk investment culture. However, his career was later overshadowed by his involvement in a major insider trading investigation that revealed unethical practices within financial markets, legal case, and later life. Following the investigation, Boesky cooperated with authorities, pleaded guilty, and paid a record financial penalty at the time. He also served a prison sentence of around 20 months. After his release, he stepped away from high finance and later taught business-related courses at universities, including Columbia and NYU. Ivan Boesky passed away at the age of 87 from natural causes, leaving behind a complicated legacy tied to both Wall Street ambition and one of its most notable scandals. Graham Thorpe was born on the 1st of August 1969 and grew up with a strong passion for cricket. He developed his game through the English domestic circuit and became a key player for Surrey County Cricket Club. Making his debut in 1988, he quickly established himself as a steady and technically skilled batsman known for his calm approach under pressure. International success with England. Thorpe made his Test debut for England cricket team in 1993 against Australia national cricket team, where he scored a memorable century that announced his arrival on the international stage. Over his career, he played 100 Test matches and 82 one-day internationals, becoming a dependable figure in the middle order. Some of his standout performances included strong displays in the Ashes series and a brilliant, unbeaten double century against New Zealand national cricket team in 2002. Later, life and legacy. After retiring in 2005, Thorpe continued contributing to the sport through coaching roles, sharing his experience with younger players. Known for his resilience and consistency, he remained a respected figure in cricket circles. Graham Thorpe passed away in 2024 at the age of 55. His career is remembered for its dedication, composure, and lasting impact on English cricket. Davey Lopes was born on May 3, 1945, in East Providence, where he grew up in a working-class environment that shaped his strong sense of discipline and perseverance. From a young age, baseball became his main focus and lifelong passion. Although he wasn't immediately recognized as a top prospect, his steady determination and hard work gradually set him apart. His college years played an important role in building the foundation for his future professional career. Rise to baseball success. Lopes began his professional journey in 1968 with the Los Angeles Dodgers and made his major league debut in 1972. Throughout the 1970s, he became widely known for his speed and intelligence on the field, especially as a base stealer. Playing alongside a strong infield group, he helped the team achieve consistent success and became an important part of a memorable era in baseball history. Challenges and personal strength beyond his achievements, Lopes faced significant health challenges with courage, including a battle with cancer in 2008, from which he recovered. Even after retiring in 1987, he remained deeply involved in the sport, working as a coach for several teams and mentoring younger players with dedication and care. Legacy and impact. Davey Lopes is remembered not only for his statistics but for his influence on how the game is played. His speed, awareness, and leadership helped redefine base running, while his resilience and commitment continue to inspire players and fans alike. Simon Cowell's life is often seen through the lens of fame, television success, and sharp public judgment, but beneath that image lies a far more complex human story. Known globally as the man who helped shape modern talent television through shows like American Idol, The X Factor, and Got Talent, he built an entertainment empire that influenced millions of viewers and launched global superstars. Yet his journey was never simply about success. It was shaped by emotional distance, early rejection, personal failure, and repeated reinvention. What the cameras rarely captured was the emotional cost behind the empire. The discipline and confidence he projected on screen were forged through years of insecurity and struggle. His story is not just about discovering talent in others, but about surviving his own internal battles, where ambition, loneliness, and resilience constantly collided beneath the surface of global fame and public recognition. Childhood without emotional warmth. Simon Cowell was born in 1959 in London into a comfortable, upper-middle-class household, but emotional warmth was not part of that environment. His mother, Julie, was elegant and socially active, yet emotionally distant. His father, Eric Cowell, worked in the music and property industries and believed strongly in discipline and achievement over affection. In their home, love was rarely expressed directly, and praise was almost non-existent. As a child, Simon often felt unseen and unheard, despite having all material comforts. This emotional absence left a deep imprint on him. He once reflected that his parents cared but did not know how to show it. That silence shaped his understanding of validation, making approval something to be earned rather than freely given. These early emotional gaps would later influence his personality, driving both his ambition and his lifelong need to prove his worth through achievement and recognition. School years and early struggles. At school, Simon Cowell did not stand out as a high achiever. Instead, he was often seen as disruptive, restless, and uninterested in traditional academic expectations. He attended institutions where structure and discipline were emphasized, but he struggled to fit into rigid systems that did not match his personality. Teachers often viewed him as difficult rather than curious, and his academic performance remained average at best. He eventually left school with minimal qualifications, a moment that reinforced his sense of not belonging. Unlike many of his peers, he had no clear direction or academic identity to rely on. This period contributed to feelings of frustration and invisibility, but it also built an early resistance to conformity. Instead of excelling through traditional paths, he began to develop an instinct for observation, people watching, and understanding behavior, skills that would later become central to his career in entertainment. First steps into the music industry. Simon Cowell's entry into the music industry began in a humble and unglamorous position in the mailroom at EMI Music Publishing. Despite being the son of an industry executive, he started at the very bottom, carrying out basic tasks while observing how the business operated. At first, he felt invisible, watching success unfold around him while he remained unnoticed. However, this environment became an unexpected education. He studied how songs were selected, how artists were promoted, and how commercial success was determined. Over time, he developed a sharp understanding of what audiences responded to, often different from what critics valued. This insight shaped his early thinking about entertainment. Instead of focusing on artistic approval, he began focusing on public reaction and commercial performance. These early lessons laid the foundation for his future philosophy. Success in entertainment is defined not by opinion, but by audience connection and measurable impact. Early success and sudden collapse. Driven by ambition, Simon eventually left EMI to start his own record label. This move gave him independence and, for the first time, a sense of control over his career. His early ventures brought success with pop acts that achieved commercial popularity, and he briefly experienced financial growth and industry recognition. However, the success did not last. Changing music trends, business instability, and risky decisions led to the collapse of his company. By the age of 30, he faced financial ruin and was forced to return to his parents' home. This return was emotionally devastating, as it symbolized not only professional failure but personal humiliation. The contrast between earlier ambition and sudden loss created a turning point in his life. It forced him to reconsider his approach to the industry and to rebuild from a place of reflection rather than confidence alone. Reinvention through strategy and observation. After his financial collapse, Simon Cowell did not leave the industry. Instead, he returned with a more calculated mindset. Working as a consultant, he began to analyze the gap between critical opinion and public preference. He noticed that many commercially successful acts were dismissed by critics, yet embraced by audiences. This realization reshaped his entire strategy. Rather than chasing artistic approval, he focused on mass appeal and market behavior. During this phase, he signed and supported acts that later became highly successful, even if initially criticized. His approach was often seen as controversial, but it proved effective. This period marked his transformation from a struggling entrepreneur into a strategic figure in the music business. He was no longer guided by validation from the industry, but by results and audience response, a philosophy that would define his future success in television and entertainment. Rise to television fame. Simon Cowell's transition into television marked the beginning of global recognition. As a judge on talent shows, he became known for his direct, often harsh criticism, which quickly set him apart from other personalities in the industry. When American Idol launched, his presence became a defining element of the show's identity. Audiences were drawn to his honesty, even when it was uncomfortable. His blunt feedback created tension, but also authenticity, which viewers found compelling. The show became a massive success, and Simon Cowell transformed into a household name. His reputation as a strict judge was balanced by his ability to identify genuine talent. This duality made him both controversial and influential. Over time, he expanded his television empire, creating formats that reached global audiences. His role shifted from music executive to cultural figure, shaping how modern talent entertainment was produced and consumed worldwide. Building a global entertainment empire. Following his success on television, Simon Cowell expanded his influence through shows like The X Factor and Got Talent. These formats revolutionized talent competitions by opening opportunities to a wider range of performers, including singers, dancers, magicians, and unique acts from all backgrounds. The shows became global franchises, adapted in numerous countries and watched by millions. Through these platforms, Artists such as One Direction, Leona Lewis, and Susan Boyle gained international fame. His production company grew into a powerful business entity, generating substantial revenue and establishing him as one of the most influential figures in entertainment. However, with success came increased pressure, long working hours, and public criticism. While admired for his business success, he was also criticized for his on-screen persona. This period reflected both the peak of his career and the beginning of deeper personal and emotional challenges. Personal life, fatherhood, and transformation. Despite professional success, Simon Cowell's personal life remained complex and often unstable. He experienced high-profile relationships and public scrutiny, particularly during controversies that affected his personal reputation. However, one of the most significant turning points in his life came with the birth of his son, Eric, in 2014. Fatherhood brought a profound emotional shift, changing his priorities and daily routine. For someone who had spent decades focused on work and control, becoming a parent introduced vulnerability and emotional depth. He began spending more time at home, adjusting his schedule, and prioritizing family life. This transition softened his public image and reshaped his understanding of success. Instead of being defined solely by career achievements, his identity began to include care, responsibility, and emotional presence, marking a significant transformation in how he approached both life and work. Accidents, health struggles, and perspective change. In 2020, Simon Cowell experienced a severe accident involving an electric bike that resulted in serious spinal injuries. The incident required extensive surgery and long-term recovery, forcing him to confront physical vulnerability in a new way. A second accident later reinforced this reality, making him more cautious about health and lifestyle choices. These experiences significantly changed his outlook on life. Activities that once seemed routine became reminders of fragility and risk. Recovery was slow and physically demanding, requiring patience and adaptation. During this period, he reassessed his priorities, reducing workload and focusing more on well-being and family. The accidents served as a turning point, shifting his perspective from constant ambition to awareness of limitation. They highlighted how quickly circumstances can change, encouraging a more balanced approach to life that values health, presence, and time with loved ones over professional intensity. Loss, reflection, and emotional depth. Alongside physical challenges, Simon Cowell experienced emotional loss that deeply affected him. The passing of his parents marked the end of a significant personal chapter, bringing reflection on childhood, absence, and unresolved emotions. Later, the death of Liam Payne, a former One Direction member, added another layer of grief. These events forced him to confront the emotional weight of his career and personal connections. As someone who had shaped the lives of many young performers, he began to reflect more deeply on responsibility and legacy. These losses softened his public demeanor and encouraged greater emotional openness. He became more expressive about gratitude, family, and the importance of time. Rather than focusing solely on achievement, he began acknowledging emotional bonds and human connection as central aspects of life, showing a more reflective and grounded version of himself. Legacy, reinvention, and human perspective. Today, Simon Cowell's legacy extends far beyond television ratings or business success. He remains a key figure in global entertainment, but his identity has evolved through years of personal challenge, loss, and transformation. From a child who felt emotionally unseen to a powerful industry leader, his journey reflects both ambition and vulnerability. Health struggles, family life, and personal reflection have reshaped his priorities, leading him to focus more on presence and meaning rather than constant expansion. His story demonstrates that success is not linear and that influence often comes with emotional cost. Ultimately, his life represents a balance between achievement and humanity. Beneath the public persona lies a man shaped by experience, learning that true legacy is not only about what is built, but also about how life is lived, shared, and understood over time.